Hello everyone, welcome back to VLSI for All. In this episode, we have Hari with us, who is co-founder and CTO at SiSoC Semiconductor Technologies. So, through this episode, we are going to learn his experience throughout his journey to become an co-founder and CEO of a company. So, over to you, Hari. How are you doing today?
Yeah, doing good, Sanket. Thanks.
Yeah. So can we just move forward with letting you give an introduction? You can talk about your college life, what was your undergrad education, and everything in a brief.
Yeah. I'm an engineering graduate, BTech graduate from Vellore Institute of Technology. I passed it in 2003, and I'm basically an electronics graduate.
Okay.
And through college, got placed into a startup company called Future Techno Designs. So it was into VLSI again. And later, maybe in another 2 years, I got an opportunity to work with Wipro. So I was there in Wipro for 5 years. I worked with various clients like Texas Instruments, uh, Broadcom kind of things. Later, I had to shift my thing to Microchip. It's a product-based company. So Microchip again, it's like I was a senior verification engineer for like almost 4 to 5 years there. Later, I worked with a company, again, a services company called Tessal. Through them, I was working with Tessal and mm, SanDisk and a couple of other small services, clients. Later, I have got an opportunity to do startup of this SiSoC semiconductors parallelly. So I got opportunity to work with Intel. So I was working in Intel for three and a half years. Parallelly, along with my co-founders, friends, like five friends joined, but later three formulated to that form the company, and we started the company. So basically, when I was working with Intel, this SiSoC semiconductor was going parallelly, and so there was a time when I felt like I need to be full time for the company, and I needed to guide them and take it forward. So that's why I decided, and it's been 2 years. Like I'm full time with SiSoC Semiconductors.
Nice, nice.
Yeah, this is about basic background about my company.
Yeah, that was a great summary of your career till now. But let's start with beginning. Like you said that you started your career journey in VLSI field. And as far as I knew that like electrical, electronics and communication engineering is a vast field. Then like how did you realize that in which domain you should be carrying forward your career? Was it like you just let your like life decide in which domain it would be going on, or was it your special interest that you actually wanted to do something in a particular domain?
It was all planned. It was all like planned, and it was like what do you say? It was like complete interested to be
Mm,
into this domain. So we got lots of opportunities to work with software companies. If you know, like our college, we used to almost everyone used to get placed those days.
mhm,
So that way, like we got so many opportunities with CTS, HCL, Wipro kind of thing. But wantedly, I didn't take all those opportunities and waiting for some electronics company to come for campus placements.
mhm,
And fortunately, the startup company has come who are into embedded and
mhm,
VLSI. So again, I inside that when I got placed, I got opportunity to choose either embedded. That was Toshiba at that time.
mhm, mhm,
Now it is Toshiba software. So I was chosen. I was given a choice of choosing either embedded or VLSI. I felt VLSI should be the right thing because that was like kind of interesting to me at that time, and I felt like
mhm,
there will be good potential for me in coming days. Where embedded was like kind of okay in the sense like embedded. I felt like it's still like in better stage compared to VLSI, so I chose VLSI that time. So it was all
mhm.
planned, and God's grace, everything happened very well, and
Yeah,
I landed there.
that's great. You would be thrilled to know that the scenario is same even now. Like more of the companies are for IT and software fields, and then VLSI, and then embedded.
No, exactly that. When I passed out was the year when that there was a big what do you say market crash for the software.
Okay.
2002 2003 time frame there was a big market crash.
Mm-hmm.
So many software engineers they had to lose their job, and so that is one of the reason like I didn't choose software. But always
Mm-hmm.
I was not so much interested in software. Even during my college times, I was always interested to do something on electronics. So that's
Mm-hmm.
actually given good what is the interest toward this VLSI.
Right, right. And sir, I would like to know you like how would you be as a student? Like generally, when someone says CEO or maybe founder of any startup, people has perception like the student might be really bright at academics, and everything. So how would you like to describe yourself? How were you at your time?
No, no need to be right. No need to be bright, or no need to be like uh, what do you say? Always to be a bookish thing. So I was not so bright.
Mm-hmm.
I still remember out of one say 120 or 130 students, my rank was 79th rank.
Oh.
So it was not like I was like topper like 85, or that time it was not first year CGPA, it was percentiles. So we were not,
Mm-hmm.
I was not holding like 85, 89 like that. I didn't even cross 70.
Okay.
So basically, even I felt like it's there like from, thing. I never felt like my marks is going to get me into either into being a technical job or to be growing in as a one entrepreneur. See, and being an entrepreneur is not depending on your technical skills. It all
Mm-hmm.
depends on how your passion. So that's a different thing. Landing into any hardcore technical job, it depends on your technical knowledge. And again, technical knowledge different not does not depend on your bookish knowledge or what the percentage you have scored, right?
Right, right.
It's how you know the topic. What is your in-depth knowledge about the technology is what like is going to think. So that way, uh, so I was not a bright student, and I was a normal student. Like I used to enjoy everything. I used to be in sports. I used to be uh, maybe I was not in all other activities like extracurricular activities like what is it, dance or something. But yes, I was in sports and I was taking part in all other social activities, everything. So that way, I was not like always with book. That's what I wish.
Yeah, that's a great news for maybe not so bright students. So, and sir, like you told, like you started with a startup company. Like which was your first company, and like what was your job role over there?
Okay, the company name is like Future Techno Designs. So that company is no more now. It's sold actually.
Mm-hmm.
So it's sold to Toshiba, and one part is sold to some other company. I don't know which is that. So it was Future Techno Designs. It was like the company what I have right now. So they were into VLSI services. So
Mm-hmm.
they
Okay.
were taking kind of projects from Taiwan or Singapore, and they'll be developing complete FPGA prototype for the customer projects. So
Mm-hmm.
initial projects what we were working were like MP3 decoder. So those days MP3 player were not there. So MP3
Okay.
decoder was the first project which we were working. So now MP3 we see software based MP3, but
Mm.
hardware based MP3 it was something new those days. So we that was I remember that was my first project which uh, I was part of. I was taking care some RTC block or I2C block and I2C blocks.
Okay. Okay. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so there like it was some 60 employees company. It's in Bangalore again, and um, I was there for 1.5 years. Then like that's where Wipro actually was keen into VLSI group. So
Mm-hmm.
VLSI division was very small those days in Wipro. So they were actively looking for people and recruiting. Um, so there we got an opportunity, and many of our colleagues also we also attended, and I felt Wipro should have been the right opportunity because always. being a fresher and a fresher to Bangalore, the dream company will be Wipro, Infosys kind of thing those days, right? So, and Infosys was not there in VLSI Group. So we felt like Wipro should be our team. So once we got an opportunity, we thought we'll shift over there. So that's how I went to Wipro.
Okay, nice. And like when you joined Wipro, you were directly positioned at a senior managerial level.
So that's because of the project which we have done as part of our first company.
Okay, okay.
So 1.5 to 2 years experience into an hardcore VLSI those days was recognized very well. So that was the reason, like it was something senior verification engineer. And as soon as I joined, the third month, I believe, third month, not even third month, second month is when like I was directly put to on Texas Instrument project where I was leading 2 people.
Nice.
So it was like everything was something like continuous track for me. We say like bench, right? There was nothing like a bench those days.
Okay.
So within, like after induction, it should be just to the projects. So that is the thing. And moreover, the band where I was recruited was related to senior verification.
Okay. So like those days, not much of like verification engineers and nothing was going in VLSI field. So it actually turned out into even like opportunity also and also to workload at the same time.
Yes.
That's good. And how was your experience at Microchip? Like what was your responsibility as a lead verification engineer?
So Microchip, it's like very cool company.
Yeah.
If Microchip is number one microcontroller company in the world now. Like when we talk about the basic microcontrollers, 8-bit, 16-bit, and 32-bit microcontrollers, they are the market leaders. It's a product company, and the life was very cool over there. Being the kind of projects which I have done in Texas Instruments, if I compare that with Texas Instrument projects or the kind of chipsets I worked there, Microchips chipsets were very small and it was very cool. And always the environment in a product company is like it will be like work-life balance would be, I mean, was not now, was all enough. So all good. So life was good. So I was part of like almost 8 projects, 7 to 8 variants of the projects. So I used to take care of the complete verification for one particular chipset. So there will be parallel programs running, and for one program at a time, one program I'll be the lead. So under me, there will be the complete verification team will be there, and we should be taking care of the complete verification activities. That was the time when the transition from traditional test bench environment like Verilog or C-based verification was getting migrated to VMM. UVM also was not there. VMM, high level descriptive languages, we say, right? So that was just kickstarting those days.
Okay.
So we started working on VMM, and later it went to UVM. So that was the time frame when this methodologies, verification methodologies have come into market actually.
So you told that this was your first product-based company. So, like in your opinion, what are the pros and cons of working as a service-based company and a product-based company? And do you think as a fresher they should speak to service-based company, or they should actually try for product-based companies directly?
Okay, it's actually the situation then was different. Now it is different. Okay, always like for a fresher right now. It is better if they get an opportunity either with product company or services company, whichever is the thing they can grab that opportunity. One advantage with product company is, yes, obviously the pay will be good. So some companies they get chance to get what do you say some stock options, RSUs kind of thing. So that way the cumulative pay will be like very attractive. While you working with services company, yeah, pay will not be that great, but you get opportunity to work with the different clients, right? So in turn, well, I can say working with different clients, again, in turn, you work with different projects, different products. You get to know the technology as well as the environment, that work environment of different companies. So that actually adds more to your technical skills.
Mm-hmm.
While working in one product company, you get to know only their technology or their process,
Mm-hmm.
like, to the project execution or the flow, everything. So that actually is beyond certain times, it makes your mind freeze,
Mm-hmm.
right? You learn something new.
Yeah.
Though product companies keep releasing new chipsets every 6 months or every 1 year, they will be like incremental changes uh, rather than like what we say, something very innovative things. So that's one point. So anyone who wish to really grow their career, I would recommend choose a services company initially.
Mm-hmm.
Be there for 3 to 4 years. Learn as much as possible. Struggle, learn, try, concentrate in growing your technical capability rather than making money. Once you reach like 4 years or 5 years, obviously, if you have done very good in your what to say, in your job, you can easily crack any product company, and you can get an opportunity. But sticking to one product company also is not always recommended, according to
Mm-hmm.
me. I
Okay.
said the reason is the technology. So you can be in a product company, you can be there for 3 years or even maximum 5 years, then you can shift for other product company. So this is one more thing which I have learned. I don't know whether the perception may be different from various other people, but from my perception, I would always recommend this way. Number two, getting job in services domain is comparatively easy than getting a job in a product
Mm.
company initially, and not only initially, always, right? So, and moreover, intake is very less.
Right.
Intake in the sense like product companies, they may be taking like 10 employees, while services market, they may be taking 100 employees at a time. So that there are very good chances for you to join a services company. And number two, the opportunity for uh, getting into a product company, right? It all depends on the college also.
Mm-hmm.
Nowadays, companies like olden days, it was very strict, and nowadays, even today, big product companies, right? They actually target high like class A colleges, like, yeah, IITs or NITs, right?
8-year colleges. Mm.
So that is one more big challenge. But
Right.
when I say I'm an engineering graduate, I cannot say like I should be from top class colleges. So that is one challenge for students from
Mm-hmm.
uh, colleges. So they can easily target the thing. Tier 1 student like from IIT and all, obviously they will be getting opportunity and they can go for product companies.
Right. Right. Those are some insightful information. So, like, it would be safe to say that if someone is still figuring out in which domain they want to like move their career, maybe for them as a fresher, service-based companies would be a great option. But to grow and for higher salaries, maybe after a few years, you should keep switching to product-based companies.
Yes.
Yeah, nice. And sir, like there are various companies that are not so popular, maybe among freshers. And same like you after even being at a lead position in microchip, you joined this company called SiSoC Semiconductor. Uh, so maybe it's not that known. So do you think that one should be like should find after the brands, or they should actually join any startup companies that is providing them with the experience? And why, personally, did you join this company even after being at a good position in microchip?
Okay. First of all, Tesla was not a small company.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Maybe it is not well known to the market. The reason being, they were into one particular domain in VLSI.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, they were into test equipments.
Mm-hmm.
So when an chipset is out to the market, we have to do characterization. We have to do post silicon validations. the wafer directly putting into a test mission. So that job was exclusively done by TESOL.
Mm-hmm.
There are other companies. In fact, TESOL had more capabilities than the real product companies itself.
Oh.
So they were very well known for that. And
Mm-hmm.
recently it's like probably like some 5 to 6 years before TESOL was acquired by Hero Electronics.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So they're like close to 700 to 800 employees right now.
Okay.
So yes, the time when I joined, they were very new to VLSI. VLSI in the sense front end
Mm.
design, verification or DFT kind of thing. They're very new to that. Yeah, it was new, but like yeah. So I joined to set TESOL because my previous boss was there with when I was in TI. He was my boss. He actually was calling me like, "Will you come and help me out? I'm forming a
Mm.
team kind of thing."
Mm-hmm.
So my seniors were there, and they were long term serving in TI and other product companies. So they're almost at the retirement stage. So they called me. So I felt like I have to be there with them and grow along with them. So that
Mm-hmm.
was the reason I had joined.
Okay.
But I would say to any mid-level people to go do the background of the company. Like
Mm-hmm.
even if a company is a 20 employees, also okay. If it is a 50 employees strength, also okay. But do basic background thing. How is the employee feeling working there? Like probably they can talk to a couple of employees, or they can see Glassdoor reviews or Google reviews, and they can think how the company is doing, what is the uniqueness of the company, and how they treat the employees, kind of thing, and they can take a decision. So, but now, yes, as you said, like there are so many services companies, and big shots are getting stagnant, and people are choosing small companies,
Mm.
doing all research. So, yes, for VLSI people, there are lots of opportunities coming to the services domain.
That's right. That's very great tips. And like after that, you again like switch to like one of the big shell that is we everyone know that is Intel. So I always wonder like for freshmen there are some set of questions that are being asked. But do you think after being working at the industry, after knowing the industry, any of the interview rounds get easier? Like what would they expect from someone who is having 5 to 6 years of experience? Like, will they be treated same as a fresher in an interview round?
No, definitely not. See, the interviews or the assessments will be different for your different category, right? So when you are joining as a product company as a 5 year, of course they'll be talking more deep into technical.
Mm.
If they there will be like 3 to 4 levels of discussion. The same 3 to 4 levels of discussion will be there even if you're joining as a fresher also. But the expectation from you may vary
Mm.
compared to what we are expecting from a 6 year or 5 year. If they are recruiting a 10-year guy, they'll be expecting something extra. They'll be looking like what is his capability as a lead, what is his
Mm-hmm.
capability as a program manager or a project manager, those kind of things. So additional to the technical capability, they'll be looking something different. So that's what thing. But of course, anytime you shift your career, there will be what to say different levels of assessments, especially for a product company. So while coming to services company, there can be one level of discussion, or sometimes just a tool. There generally be two level, and sometimes you just have a telephonic discussion. They just give offer.
Mm-hmm.
Depends on the criticality. But product companies always there will be 2 to 3 levels of discussion and lots of process involved there.
Mm-hmm. Right, right.
So I chose to go back to Intel. The reason being like I basically like reaching one stage in your career, like reaching about 10 years or 12 years,
Mm.
I would recommend like always anyone in the industry, they want to settle somewhere
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Right.
at a little higher level and
Mm.
at a lead level or a manager level. So that should be a right company and right team. So I had that intention when I was shifting from Tesol to Intel. So in fact, I
Mm-hmm.
had 2, 3 offers that time. So I chose Intel that time.
Mm-hmm.
So I felt like I will be there. Like in fact, I was a lead. I was not any manager. Something. I was a lead there. Same. I was leading some subsystem projects, verification kind of thing. So
Mm-hmm.
it was all good role only. But after joining Intel, within few days is where like I got something. I got some teams to be found, and we have to do something, and we started the startup. But
Mm-hmm.
generally, when I say if beyond certain level, it's always recommended to go and settle in some product companies for their career safety as well as
Mm-hmm.
for money.
Yeah, also like being a part of a giant company or a well-known one, that would actually be
Yeah.
a little more safer on
And
site.
I would say when opportunity knocks you, we need to grab it, right?
Mm,
So
right.
that time there was good opportunity for me to think. Now also very good opportunities are there. So when opportunity comes, grab that and settle that. So that's what. Did.
Okay, Hari. So let's talk about this company, Innofi Solution Private Limited. So what is this
Mhm.
company about, and what service does it provide? Like you are the CEO of the company, right?
Okay. See, Innofy Solutions is something like which I am doing, um, which I was doing, and as well as even now I am doing like a separate entity
Mm.
parallel to what full time I'm working. Are you able to hear me?
Yeah, yeah.
Yes. So Innofy Solutions is into like some wireless technologies. So we provide some integrated ICT solutions to apartments and commercial buildings.
Mm-hmm.
So that means that includes Wi-Fi services and what do you say? 1 minute. I'm sorry. I kept backlight too much. So ICT services like fiber technology to home and some CCTV kind of solutions, security related solutions to apartments and commercial buildings.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that right now what we are doing is we are providing solutions related to smart water metering solution to apartments. So that's like into individual apartments, we deploy your smart meters to monetize the water consumption of individual apartments. So
Mm-hmm.
unlike like right now, if you see, where are you basically from?
I'm from Mumbai.
Mumbai.
Yeah.
So in Mumbai, for example, like if you are staying in high-rise apartment or like multi-family residences, water while coming to the water, right? You are not charged for the water which you are consumed, correct?
Yeah, yeah, right, right.
So it's just divided equally by number of flats.
Mm-hmm.
And if you guys are staying like only 1 or 2 guys are staying, still you need to pay the same amount. While like neighbor house, there may be like 4 to 5 members in the family. They may be paying all the same amount, but their water consumption will be more. Correct?
Mm-hmm. Right.
And so this is one pain point we are targeting. Another pain point is like water wastage. People don't bother about the conserving water. They just like since they think like someone is supplying and we are paying for that, let's not bother to save the water. They just open the tap sometimes, and even them by mistake they will keep the tap open and they go leave out also, and water leakages happens. So
Mm-hmm.
those kind of problems are there in this kind of multifamily buildings, right? So there, our solution gives a very good what is as a saver. Like
Mm-hmm.
our meters will be installed for individual apartments, individual flats, and they'll be monitoring the water consumption. And if there is any wastage of water, that will be detecting that was water wastage, and it will be intimating to the facilities manager, estate manager, as well as to the customer also. And also, customer will be getting the complete live data of daily water consumption. So that way, they
Mm-hmm.
can really calculate where they are, what time they are using water, more water or something, and they will build accordingly. Now, what happens like individual family members, they are very concerned on water savage because they are charged for what they are used.
Mm-hmm.
Now, bigger families, they'll be getting more bill, whereas smaller families, they'll be getting less bill. So smaller families will be happy, bigger families, they'll be feeling bad, but still they start conserving water. So this way, our solution helps to save almost 30-40% of water consumption for the whole project.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a unique solution which we made off ground from here itself, like end-to-end R&D to complete manufacturing. We are doing here itself, and we are deploying it to apartments. So yeah, Innofy solutions mainly targets on that particular domain. Apart from that ICT solutions, whichever I said.
Mm-hmm.
So it's my own company, and my company in the sense like I take care completely. It's not so big company. So yeah, so that's the reason like I've not highlighted much into LinkedIn, but correct. So that has got its own potential and it will be revamped soon.
Yeah, yeah. And sir, like I wonder, like you were already at like nice position at Intel as a verification manager, but how did you like came up with this idea and how did you divert it into like this field? Like what was your motivation? How did you actually started into this?
Okay. So that's where I said the first point initially, right? To become an entrepreneur, the passion is very important.
Mm. Yes.
So I always had the passion the day I landed in Bangalore.
Mm-hmm.
So my friends used to tease me like I used to speak always something. I have some 1 lakh rupees. I'll give it some interest. I'll make some money. That money I'll put somewhere. I'll make this business, that business kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So that is something not making money, but something like a passion, right?
Mm.
So the day I landed in Bangalore as a fresher in 2003, from that day, 6 months was the time which I was actually like enjoying the life, understanding what is Bangalore and exploring Bangalore.
Mm.
After that, I started exploring so many side business. We say side business as a layman side business, right?
Mm-hmm.
I started exploring. So that way, I put my mouth in so many aspects.
Mm-hmm.
You talk about any domain, I did something. So always while working in a company, I had some side income business that making some mere money. So initially I started buying one small cab. I had one driver for that, and I attached that vehicle for a call center. I used to make some decent money. So that actually motivated me to why can't we increase the number of cabs? And so we partnered. I had one my close friend, so I partnered with him and I we came up with some innovative idea like attaching whatever you say today, Ola or
Mm.
Uber and all. We had that in 2005, but not as an app-based thing, but it was something phone call-based thing. So we had
Mm-hmm.
some 18 vehicles, and we attached like other vehicles, and we were doing a small call center business in one particular area. And parallelly, like while talking to one connect in a general meeting, they were showing one potential business market for one job work.
Mm.
So again, I started one small job work based business in Hosur. I kept my sister to take care of that. It was small packaging unit. So that was like some 5-6 lakhs investment, and it was all going good. And while doing this cab industry, we felt like we want to do something innovative.
Mm.
So while we thought like, why can't we provide internet in the cab free of cost to the travelers?
Mm.
So that time it was very, very new. Like we had only 3G those days, and no, like the cost of the internet in our mobile things were very huge.
Yeah, yeah.
So I want to get something like a Wi-Fi hotspot inside the cab as per government's regulation. So why can't we do something like that? So we were thinking, why can't we pilot in our own cabs? So we did pilot in our cabs. It got very good reputation from the customers. So we want to take it to the next level, and then that's where we met Meru cabs. You know Meru cabs from Mumbai,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Right. I know.
So we met them. So they were very happy. So they gave some 50 vehicles for a pilot. So we invested for that. That's where Innofy Solutions got started. So we provided free Wi-Fi for the travelers who are traveling in the cab, especially from airport to city. Okay, so that time there was a company called Aircel, right?
Yeah,
Aircel,
yeah,
you know.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
we tied up with Aircel. So we created a hotspot. We developed our own Wi-Fi router.
Okay.
Everything was done by myself only. So we did a custom software for billing systems, like kind of SMS broadcasting and OTP kind of thing and all. So we think we pushed some advertisements in the cars while browsing, right? So those things are very common nowadays, but like those days it was very new.
Yeah.
So we kickstarted that way, and it was very welcome. Like very good customer, good feedbacks were there. But unfortunately, because of funding, I couldn't take that to the next level.
Mm-hmm.
Even Meru Cab was ready to give me 1,000 vehicles across Mumbai, Delhi, and Bangalore. But I was not in a position to invest for so many vehicles. Those days, hardware was too costly.
Yeah, yeah.
So 4G was not there, and so it was one challenge for us. So we didn't take that to a bigger level, but we have done it for some of the malls, providing Wi-Fi setups for malls. So we did for a few malls here in Bangalore and Surat, Mumbai also, and it got good reputation. But revenue was not so encouraging what we are expecting because we were depending on advertisements, right? So it was not so encouraging.
Okay.
So then we diverted our thing, the same providing that Wi-Fi based solutions to apartments. So that actually got clicked, and we introduced the fiber technology to apartments first time. Not first time, probably initial days.
Okay.
So we introduced to builders. So it's not like an ISP to the builders. We introduced the fiber technology, and we partner with them and we implement that for some high-end apartments. So that got good reputation, and from there on, working with the apartments, like I got to know that pain point of water meter. So now we ended up with water meter project. So now if you start see the journey, it started from start buying one small cab and ending providing a smart water meter apartment. Everything is linked. So these things happen as a side business.
Yeah, yeah.
And why it is again a side business is that's what I'm telling, like passion. So if someone wants to decide his career should be like after 10 years or after 15 years, I want to end up being an entrepreneur, or after 5 years, I want to be an entrepreneur, they have to create the ground for them. This is what I learned. I failed in many businesses. As I said, like on many iteration, I failed. I lost money, but I didn't lose, or I didn't leave that thing. I was keep on trying something new. Now I landed. Still, I am trying new. I can't say like I have done very extraordinary thing or I have achieved something in my life. I feel like I'm very late actually. But yes, I compromised myself that those days there was no much of opportunities or support hand for an entrepreneur. But now potential is huge, where like for youngsters who come from a 2019 passed out or 2020 passed out, he can just start a company. But that also I don't recommend. I'll come to that point later.
Okay.
So that's how it has come. So all depends on your passion and what is your priority. That's it. As simple as that.
Right. So it was like always the side hustle and the interest that carried you
Correct.
from your initial days, and after accumulating over time and time, it actually blew some fruitful days for you. Yeah, that's nice. Like people actually think like getting into placing into some safe position in Intel, you would be more comfortable, but rather than being getting engrossed in comfortable positions, you actually came up bounce back with another idea after being even at the managerial level at Intel. That's cool. Yeah. So, like in initial days, you told about you actually failed a lot of times. But other than this, like, would you like to mention any of the like struggles in your initial days, or like even like any mistakes that you did? you should have, like, you could have been avoided or something like that?
Yeah, of course. So career wise, I didn't do any mistake, nor I failed.
Mm,
So at least by God's grace, that was coming in the right path for me. So consistently, I had some good growth in the career wise. While coming to the entrepreneur as an entrepreneur,
mm,
as I said, like initially I started with one cab and it went to 15 cabs, but because of market crash, I couldn't continue. And similarly, I said I had one small job work factory, right? So that also because of wrong people in my team,
mm,
uh, and I believed them, and unfortunately, that belief spoiled, and that was one of the reason I lost that. So that was a big crash for me those days.
oh,
So that happened, and I learned a lot. So it took for me at least another next 2 years for me to come back to normal, to come out of those debts and all. So one thing what I felt is my planning was wrong, my team formation was wrong, and my concentration. So now I was telling to you that, like, yeah, I did so many side businesses while I was working somewhere, right? But I don't recommend that. Until the time I was doing all these kind of startups as a parallel thing, right?
mm,
Those startups didn't grow. It didn't come up at all. It was there. I was keep on telling, you know what, I have a side business. I'm doing this business. Everyone is to say, wow, great man, kind of thing. But it was not progressing. It
mhm,
was not making any profit for me. But when I decided that I need to quit, I have to come to be a full time. Past 3 years or 2.5 years or so, I have seen like very good growth in all my business. So now I'm thinking like probably that's what I was thinking. I was late. Probably I should have quit when I was 9 years or 10 years, and I should have taken a risk to start any company full time from that time,
oh,
keeping enough savings with me. So that was one lessons for me. If you feel like a side business also, some people have grown with doing some side business. Probably that can be luck, or there may be some good supporting hand for them to take care of the business, right? If you don't have a proper team to take care of the side business, it is not recommended to start any side business or something. Just passion will not help.
mm,
In that case, you'll lose here also, you'll lose in your career also. So that's the lesson I learned. And financial planning was something I goosed up. So I didn't maintain proper records, bookkeepings, and what's my investment and what is my expenditure and where was I arranging the money. So everything was something like vague.
mm,
So that was also one of the reasons. So I learned so many things, and actually that has given me very good knowledge to run the existing business in
mm.
very very smooth way.
Right. If I understood right, like you were telling that you should have started early. So like you would suggest like to just like you shouldn't be doing it parallelly as a side business, but you should actually leave it and then focus wholly on the same. That's what we would like to suggest.
We are doing side.
Mm,
Don't expect more from that, or don't take much of risk into the business.
mm,
And if you have a right team, right partners,
mm.
yes, something can be done in the side.
Okay, okay, okay. Got it. And like according to you, what traits do you think one should possess as an entrepreneur or maybe a CEO, and what work for you? Could you just elaborate?
Sorry, come again. I didn't understand.
Like in your opinion, what traits do you
Mhm.
think one should possess as an entrepreneur or as an CEO? Yeah, and
Okay.
also, what worked for you? Which of the traits that you think?
Okay. One thing worked for me, as I said, the passion to be a
Mm,
boss.
mm,
So that's there always. So if you think you want to be a boss, automatically from your mind or from your blood, you will start developing the skills, right?
mm,
And develop a skill, something which when you say you want to be a boss of a company, develop yourself the skills needed for that. You may not be able to develop all the skills needed for that,
Mm.
or at least try to think you should be a cheerleader of the company. When I say today I am a CEO or a CTO of the company, it is not like for external world I'm a CTO, I may be a CEO of the company. But if you come to office, there were days like where I used to do not only with me, it's with every unicorn today. So there were a time where we used to go and take Xerox copies, and we used to wait in queues to get the what is a printout for my company presentation or something before going for a meeting and all.
Mm-hmm.
And while coming to my ICT solutions, there were days like where I went and did the wiring also, that fiber wiring and all. So we used to install the Wi-Fi access points in malls and all. Like after 11 o'clock, night 11 o'clock, we used to go and put the scaffolding and do the wiring. So there were days. So there also, I was the boss of the company. Still, like we have to work. So that kind of thing should be there with you. And when you want to gradually grow as a CEO, automatically you will gain, because you are the peon of the company, you are the accountant of the company, you are the business development manager, you are the salesperson of the company. Once you gain everything, then you become a leader of all those people, right? So that's then you can say you are the CEO of the company. Straight away, you cannot come and say, "Hey, I started the company and I want to
Mm.
be a CEO of the company." No, that doesn't make sense, right? So when you feel like you are worth for a CEO. Maybe you are a CEO of a small startup company. You feel like that's in, then you make sure like you have done all those works. From my side, I have done all those things. Today, not only myself, my other co-founders also, they are ready to go to the down ground work, and they take care of all those things. So that capability we should have. And that capability beyond certain age, we are not able to do. Maybe age also matters, right?
Mm-hmm.
I cannot go now and do wiring, or I cannot go as a cab driver now. So in 2005, for my cab, after I came off the ship, I was picking and dropping some employees of other companies, right? So which I cannot do now.
Mm-hmm.
But when the age is there, try to utilize that and finish that. That's what I learned. I interacted with many people. So I talk to wherever I go, wherever I meet, I learned their business. If I meet a real estate person, I understand their business model, how they do the construction. I understand their technology, and I identify some pain points in their business, and I try to see if I can get some kind of a solution for their what do you say their problem statements.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the character a leader has to develop. That's my point over here.
Yeah. Like a CEO or leader should actually know in and out of like every role that he has in the company. People actually
Exactly.
think like being CEO is just like you get much of the lucratives and everything, but that's not true. You also had to bear the cost of it. That's that's so inspiring. Uh, let's come out to like it was going, everything was right. So like, why did you like step into another company, become a co-founder and a CTO? The company name is like the SiSoC Semiconductor Technology. Why shift to that?
It is not like shifting actually. So that was already planned, very well planned
Mm.
initially.
Mm-hmm.
So the InnoFi business is entirely different while thinking about SiSoC semiconductors. So SiSoC semiconductors is a different entity and different co-founders with different co-founders. So that way, the business is different, business model is different, and people involved are different. So that is the reason I co-founded that company.
Mm-hmm. Got it. Like, and you have like almost lived the like both part of the life, like as an employee in a great company, in a startup company, and being the CEO of a startup. Uh, According to you, what are the advantage and disadvantage of being an employee with a company, and on other side, being a CEO or CTO of a startup company?
being an employee of the company, you hold something in your hand. You take some responsibilities in your hand. But being a CEO of the company or a founder of the company, you take the same thing on your head.
Oh,
So you compare yourself. So this is my verse, that's all.
okay.
So burden is more on you and responsibility is more on you, and you take the risks rather than taking something, holding in a very lightweight in my hand, right? So that is the main difference. So when I was an employee, I don't bother what my company does. I don't even bother what my company's business is. Many people, even today, our Indian crowd thinks in that way, right? They don't even think like what the business Wipro does or what the business Intel does. Hey, I have this project. My work is to develop a test case. My work is to design this block. I want to verify that. I close that. They don't even think like how the chip goes and who is the buyer of the chip.
Right.
Right? But little extra effort I put and I understand where this chip goes, how they make money and all. So that created curiosity and made me as an entrepreneur. That's a different thing. Now, when I own something, that's where the risk factor involved. And I want to relate the previous answer and to this. I said, right, like beyond certain limit, like when I reach some 12 years or 13 years experience level, it's that's the right time someone to either settle in a product company or start something, right? Why I said like to start something that time, right? That time the risk what you are going to take will be almost same. The responsibilities what you are going to take will be almost same. Being a 12-year or being a 15-year manager in a software company, whether it is an IT or VLSI or anything, the amount of responsibility or amount of workload on you will be almost equal to if you are starting a startup company and taking that company from scratch and making the product to the market and getting the first customer. The amount, the workload, what you are going to put is going to be same. But here, it is yours.
Yes.
You are the boss. It's yours. If you are success, you are going to get success huge. Here, even if you get success also, you will be getting peanut of the benefit. So that is what I would say. So for example, in my case, I was getting handful of salary when I was in Intel. I wantedly know that if I come full time to my startup company, I cannot take that much salary what I was getting. I was taking 1/4 of the salary what I was taking in Intel when I joined SiSoC. Since I never took salary. Though I say CEO, I never took salary because it's my own company. Right? Many startup founders are doing that only. They may say they are the CTO of the company or something. When I joined SiSoC Semiconductor 3 years before, I came down 1/4 of the salary. And pandemic came, we didn't take salary for 1 year. Right? So that is the risk I have taken, keeping my family also in burden. But I planned well because of the previous lessons and experiences. We planned well. And in fact, I guided my co-founders also to plan very well in their personal financing. Don't do extra expenses right now. Don't take any risky investment plans this for next 2 to 3 years. And now that worked for us. Now we are in profit-making stage. Now we are back to the salary what we were taking previously, and now we are okay. So this is the risk that you know that you will not be taking when you are a employer. Of course, if the market is very bad, market crashes, there are chances that companies can reduce your salary or they may not even hike for you. So that those risks are very less, or they may send you out from the job and within maybe 2 to 3 months, you can get some other job. So those kind of risks are still there as an employee. But the risk is not as big as what you be a startup. So while planning, you have to plan everything considering all the risks in your life, health risks. So save money for that and choose the right process in the company so that the failure rates are as less as possible. Okay, so to conclude, like we see so many startups coming up in India.
Hmm.
Of course, the ecosystem is very good. All institutes are providing incubation, and government is supporting. In fact, government is supporting for VLSI, semiconductors, and
Hmm.
lots of incentives have been given. So many things are there. Of course, I am utilizing so many incentives given by government and very grateful like for the opportunities I am getting. But looking into that, it is not like everyone can start a startup company and they can grow.
Hmm.
So that startup, this thing has to be grown from your mind, and that has to be with your blood, and you need to form a proper team for that. If your teammates are not good, you cannot success again. So that's
Hmm.
one thing. Nowadays, I see many newcomers like 2020 passed out, 2020 passed out. They just come out. They may be having some innovative idea. They think, yes, I have very good idea. I will roll out as a product. That also is good thing only, but that ranks only 20% or 30% of your success of the product.
Hmm.
It is not your product or it is not your idea that is going to make you success. How are you going to roll out the company? How are you going to execute? How are you going to take care of the customer, first customer? That's the main challenge, right? So many people fail there, and there are lots of failures in the startup ecosystem. So my recommendation is once you complete your degree, whether it is engineering or whatever, work for 3 to 5 years. In these 5 years, learn the technology, also make some good money, save that money, and parallelly you study what are the various things for being an entrepreneur, what are the skills you need to develop, and what are the hiccups there, what are the incentives available, what are the support available in the startup ecosystem. Try to explore all those things and get connected to them. And one particular day when you feel like this is the time for me to come out and kickstart something, you decide. Here family also comes into picture.
Hmm.
Your marriage life comes into picture. Once you get married, first 2 years you have to be like concentrating there, and kids comes. So how you plan for the kid, and you are purchasing a house, purchasing a car, everything comes into picture. You need to plan everything and decide which is the right time for me to jump into as a startup, rather jumping to a startup just like that and burning your hands, right?
Hmm.
So my suggestion to anyone is work for 3 to 5 years, save some money, and jump into entrepreneur.
Great, great, great. Amazing.
And if this is reaching to engineering colleges, I would say one more thing. Recently, the same point I've given in one of the magazine also. Whatever you are studying, love it and study. Right? Just like that, being an engineer, it is not like whatever the subject you study and do the formulations and all, and what we say, mug up or
Hmm.
memorize that and write exams and score 8.59 CGPA. No, that is not going to help. Please understand the technology, take it to your mind and feel it and study. I'm thinking
Okay.
practical oriented study
Hmm.
rather than just study the bookish knowledge. So this is what one thing which I always tell to any college student I meet also. Try to make sure like your academic studies should be correlating with the industry standards also. So that 4 years is your time where you can grab, understand many things, because while stepping into market, you are one among 25 lakhs every year. You should be one out of that, right? So for that, you should be prepared very well. So that's
Okay.
my final note.
Yeah, yeah. Great, great. Those are some incredible tips. Like I actually ask every candidate to give some of their advice at the end, but I guess from this only we are actually going to learn great things. And when it comes to startup, sir, unlike IT and software fields, it is said that startups in hardware domain is difficult, maybe due to costing or many other things. So what's your take on this?
Yes, you are correct actually. So Especially that is the reason. Especially semiconductors and other hardware thing. The initial investments are like very high, right?
Mm,
So that is one more reason why we don't see much of product companies in India. Like unlike our US or China
mm,
or UK
mm,
kind of thing. So now anyway, the ecosystem is slowly changing and
mm,
some support system is coming. But yeah, so India is very well known for the services, design services business. So that's like something which uh, what do you say can be done with comparatively less cost.
mhm,
So choosing the right business in the semiconductor or hardware domain to kickstart, and from there growing is another strategy. So that all depends on how you start. So in our case, for example, if you see, we were doing the customer projects.
mm,
So we were doing customer projects and we do services business. From the services business, we no need to invest anything for the
mm,
hardware. We work on the customer's project itself with their infrastructure, and we take money for what we say billing model.
mm,
So that way we saved some money, we made some money. With that money, we started developing our products.
mm.
And now we are taking little bigger steps to develop our own chipset.
Okay, nice.
Own chipset, but yes, not drastically. We are going in very small steps in that part. We are taking the risk. Obviously, we are taking the risk because we made some good growth in the services domain. So while coming to hardware business, how we how we plan the strategy is matters. That even in VLSI and hardware businesses, so many companies got closed.
Mm,
Fortunately, we somehow survived and we are going good and we are very well valuated as of today.
mm.
So it depends on how you strategically plan the company's growth. So that also you will gain only based on the experience.
Right, 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 right. Nice. Like basically, maybe it might be difficult to start a startup based on like a product, but we can surely, even being from a non-IT or CS background, we can surely provide a startup which will provide service to the other companies. Like a
Yes.
service-based startup would, in generally do well.
Yes.
Nice. So, sir, like, how do you feel looking back to your journey now? Do you think it was all worthy? Of course, I think it's great. But like, what's your like final word on your whole story till now?
So everything went as per my plan. So I learned many things in my life. I gained many things in my life. I of course I lost something, or something which some social connect also I could have lost. That all depends on my personal character.
Mm-hmm.
That's fine. Uh, once I see back my thing, everything went good. I'm very happy what I've seen. But as I said initially, it could have happened little early.
Mm-hmm. That's something that I actually hear from most of the like successful people. Like when they're successful, they say that it should have been happened a little bit early.
Well, little now I feel like I am done almost. I'm completed my half of my life, and I have very less time in my
Mm-hmm.
journey in this world. Within this less time, I have so many things to achieve.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what is getting me kind of thing. If I would have not had that failures from my initial startups, probably I could have started this little early on the right time, and I would have gained lots of further knowledge now, and I would have grown far better. So
Mm-hmm.
that's one I feel. Otherwise, yes, whatever happened in my life, all happening as per my plan.
Great, great, great. Like you already actually pointed out many of the things and many of the great tips that would help any viewer stepping on the same journey. But apart from this, just for a formality, I would still ask, like, is there any final tip that you would like to give to someone who is starting, maybe or someone who is a fresher or just a general piece of word that you would like to suggest.
So simple. For a fresher, don't jump into startup. Please gain some experience, work for 3 to 5 years. Parallelly study about your startup passion, grow your skills, then do the startup. And while you are starting up, please keep all the things in front of your table. Uh, Keep proper mentor for that, and keep right resources needed for that. Then kickstart. Start in small. Don't put like 10 lakhs, 15 lakhs, or 20 lakhs on single shot and do. Start things in a very small way. We have very good potential opportunities here. Start everything in a small way, grow very step by step way. Then you can at one stage you can reach drastically. You can grow. So this is a simple step. Gain the experience and then enter into in your entrepreneurship. That's it.
Okay, that was a great tip. We would be heading towards the end of this session. I am sure that many of our viewers would be getting tons of insightful knowledge from this particular episode. And having you on this podcast was an honor for me. So
Thank you.
thank you for being on this, taking out time for this, and all the best for whatever career that holds for you here onwards.
Thanks, Ankit. Thanks, and appreciate the effort what you guys are putting and trying to put this kind of videos and what is it? Make young
People.
people to watch this. So it's really good appreciable. I look forward many videos from you. So anyway, all the best for you guys also. At any time, any support you need, you can be in touch with me. Okay.
Yeah, thank you.